Day with quality products from Sunny Bay, like our disposable heat patches. They're back in stock now and target neck and shoulder pain in adults of all ages. Or our extra long neck heating pads. They provide soothing relief to painful sore necks and backs. Mom can heat them in her microwave, and they come in a variety of colors and patterns. Read our trusted, authentic, and real reviews on Amazon when you search Sunny Bay Heating Wraps. And shop now in time for Mother's Day. There's no shipping delays from Sunny Bay. Find us on Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, and sunny-bay.com. Remember, just search for Sunny Bay Neck Wraps. Order now because stock is high and shipping is fast. From Sunny Bay.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Listen up, Ocala. If you got your share of those dwarf ever-blooming azaleas at Bob Wines for just $3.99, well, Bob has sold thousands, but they won't last forever. They've even extended their hours open daily till 4:30 so everyone can get their azaleas. And check out the other inflation-fighting deals this week. Gorgeous spring annuals, take your pick from hundreds. They're just $2.29 each, or mix and match a giant tray of 18 for just $34.99. Outstanding yellow and peach daylilies, just $8.99 when you buy 6 or more. And spring veggies, you name it, Bob's got it. Jumbo 4-pack, just $4.49. And camellias during the Camellia Show, starting at just $19.99 in a whole range of your favorite colors. Don't miss hundreds of price-busting deals in the greenhouse at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, now till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place for 70, count them, 70 years.
Are you a veteran living in Florida? Do you want to earn while you learn? Call 954-434-8220 or visit our website at nsied.org now. Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants training in farming, ranching, and allied services? Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants help with job placement? Call 954-434-8220. North-South Institute Veteran Training Program is a mix of online and hands-on in-person training designed for you to earn while you learn. Once you register for the program, you'll get a stipend of approximately $300 per month for 3 months. And you can get an additional stipend to offset your travel expenses. You can also get another $75 for referring a veteran who completes the program. If you are a veteran living in Florida, call the North-South Institute Veteran Training Program now, 954-434-8220, or visit our website at nsied.org now.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Friday, I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio. On the line with me, as he is always, is Galen Udall from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and JustShip.net. Galen, I'm still just sitting here going, I'm trying to rack my brain. You asked me what's the most overrated day trip, and I immediately said Devil's Mill Hopper up in Gainesville. And during the break, I sat and thought, and yeah, it's still number one.
Yeah. I mean, you could say there are different things like, the so-called mermaid experience down in Hernando area, Wiki Wachi. I mean, you could say other ones, but nothing nothing is as bad as Devil's Mill Hopper.
And once you've been once, you never need to go again, because you literally walk downstairs, turn around, look up, go, oh, there's the sky, and then you walk back out.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people have been there. And I will say one of the most underrated, it's in our backyard, so I really think we take it for granted, is this Silver Spring.
Oh yeah.
I've always thought it was just a really cool place, but because it's in our backyard, it's a little, we undervalue it. I think it's an amazing place to spend a day. You feel connected, and it's just so relaxing, and I enjoy it.
Another place, and I know I shouldn't say this because people are going to be like, that's first world problems, Tom.
Oh my gosh, Tom can upset people.
You got issues. But I've been to Italy, been to Rome, did the whole tourist thing of the Vatican, went and looked up my name in the confirmation book to show that I'm part of the Roman Catholic Church, which is really a cool experience. It costs money to do, but they bring this big book out, and there's your name handwritten in there, and in calligraphy and everything that shows the day you were confirmed into the Roman Catholic Church and all. So that was pretty cool that my name was listed in Rome for some reason. But then you get in line for the Sistine Chapel. And the Sistine Chapel is a must-do because, Michelangelo, on his back, he painted it. It's part of the Vatican. The line never stops. You're constantly moving. You're not allowed to take pictures or anything. You just look up. There's the ceiling. Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. You're in line for like 4 hours, 5 hours. Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. And it takes, 2 minutes to get through, 2.5 minutes. I was like, really? Huh? What? Huh? You can see just as good of artwork on the sides of buildings where they painted them hundreds of years ago as the Sistine Chapel, and you can actually sit there and look at it. Sistine Chapel, keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving.
I've never been there, but so I don't know. The people who have, nobody else has that opinion. But Tom Schmidt, nobody really looks at Tom Schmidt and says, "Now that's a guy."
He's an
really,
art connoisseur,
really
exactly. Yeah.
He appreciates art.
Let's be honest. My favorite piece of art is, and I couldn't even tell you the name of it. No, I couldn't even tell you the name of it. But it's the melting clocks and everything that Salvador Dali did. That's my favorite painting.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's right there in Tampa.
Right.
Yeah.
My second favorite painting, dogs playing poker. It is.
Dogs playing poker.
And sure. Look, and coming in a close third, any kind of Elvis on black velvet.
With the black light.
Yeah, with any Elvis painting that's on the black velvet, that's a go-to. You got to have one of those in your house.
Gosh, I remember like growing up in the 70s, you couldn't go into a house
without Elvis being in there.
My cousins and my aunts and everything, and there was an Elvis painting. You just had to find it. It may not be pride of place, right? Might not be up front and center, but they had it.
Even in
Catholic, if they didn't have that, they had the Blue Boy.
Oh yeah. Even in Catholic homes, you had the crucifixion and an Elvis painting on black velvet. You just did.
And then there was probably a full ashtray about 5 feet away from it.
Oh. About 3 feet.
Growing up.
There was a full ashtray about every 3 feet in my house. But my mom was a 3-pack Benson and Hedges a day. You know what I mean? She died of COPD because of that. My old man was 2 packs a day, Camel non-filters, with the windows rolled up in the car. We're fine.
Unbelievable.
You talk about smoke hanging in a casino. Nobody knows about it. You want to see smoke? Get in a car in the 70s.
Airplane.
Oh, the airplanes in the 70s.
Oh,
we're moving the air around. No, you're moving the smoke around. Yeah, they actually.
Smoking. You're like, what the hell is this?
They would literally tell you there was a non-smoking section in an airplane. Stop it.
Theaters everywhere. I now, if I smell smoke, I think I'm going to die. I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, and we used to, they said, secondhand smoke's deadly. Well, if it's deadly, it didn't do too much to kill me because I lived in it.
Yeah, we
But
all
remember, we were also the generation that got on our bicycle and chased a mosquito truck. So you know what I mean?
Of course we did. There was nothing else to do, and our seatbelt was our parents' arm. I mean, you know, yeah.
Seatbelt.
Well, anyway,
Seatbelt.
I wonder if I had that they are not really they weren't my real aunt, but my parents called her like.
Oh
aunt.
yeah, any adult even if they weren't your uncle or aunt,
And,
they were because they were an elder, so they were your Uncle Steve or your your Aunt May.
Right.
Yeah.
And this particular aunt, her name was Helen. Aunt Helen, she didn't have any kids. She was never married. And so she would just sit, and she had this dog that would kill you. And so she would sit, smoke, and put puzzles together. And we used to have to go and see her and visit with her. And that's as close to hell as I've ever been in my life.
That's the
like
aunt.
as an 8-year-old.
That's the aunt that would make the bruised banana and mayonnaise sandwiches
Oh,
to give
yeah,
to you.
yeah. And there was always something you were like, do I have to eat this, Mom? And she would just sit there. And, just because you were there doesn't mean she wasn't going to she was going to change smoking. And then at 4 o'clock, she started drinking scotch.
She leaves the
and then
sweet tea
put a
out.
puzzle together.
Leaves the sweet tea out on the table so it gets sour and then makes you drink it. And you're like, Mom, this is sour. Shut up, it is not. Drink it.
And
we all have that
once
aunt.
a year.
We all have that aunt.
Oh.
I believe
boy.
Eddie Murphy called her Aunt Bunny. She got a
Yeah, Aunt Bunny.
mustache.
Yeah. It was just like, I'm sure she was nice. But yeah.
Kids, get dressed. We're going to
that was
once a year you'd hear, kids, get dressed. We're going to go see Aunt Helen today. Oh, God, please take me now.
Oh, it was terrible. And then my sister, who's older than me, got out of it every time.
She's also sounds like not only is she older, but she's smarter as well.
Oh man, it was unbelievable.
Speaking
Anyway.
of smart women, so Suzanne Summers, you remember her, right? Three's Company
Sure,
star.
of course. Thigh master.
Then she left Three's Company and did a ill-fated show where she was a county sheriff, and it was terrible with Patrick Duffy and everything. Terrible. Three's Company was her calling. Except for what'd you say? What'd you relate to her?
Thigh master.
Thigh master. So she was she did an interview with the she was on the Hollywood Raw podcast this week, and they started talking about her wealth and everything and how much she made on Three's Company, and they were talking about it. She goes, "Let me tell you, the most money I ever made in my life was when I got involved with Thigh Master." She said,
yeah, there's no doubt.
She says she has made in her lifetime, and they keep selling, so she keeps getting residual checks. She's upwards of $300 million just off Thigh Master.
No doubt.
Just off
That
Thigh
didn't
Master.
surprise me at all. I mean, that was the original infomercial that I remember. There may have been one before that.
That was the first one I remember, and then it was Billy Banks with his boxing with his boxing.
Sure. Well, but again, I don't know. It's remarkable.
She said
a thing with a hinge.
She said they've sold 15 million worldwide as of now at $20 a piece. She said, "You do the math on how much that is."
That's unbelievable. Good for her.
And
good for her.
you know.
By the way, she's the reason Three's Company was fun.
Oh yeah. Well, her and Mr. Roper.
Yeah, Mr. Roper was, and then they replaced him
with Don Knotts,
and
because I couldn't see Barney Fife in a leisure suit, a hip guy in L.A. I just couldn't see it.
No, you're all right.
There's no way Mr. Furley wouldn't walk in and go nip it. He just wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't dress in drag to go undercover at a department store. He wouldn't do it.
No. It was a great show.
Oh, the Andy Griffith Show was fantastic. But yeah, Suzanne Summers said 300 million is what she's made. It's
unbelievable.
And she says now there's a gold version of the ThighMaster,
Of course there is.
which you can get for $49.95, and it's currently sold out. And there's also a toning system package with it, with Buttmaster and ThighMaster, the DVD, that's $79.99, and it's on back order. So she's still raking in the dough from this thing. And I always thought, you know, I would watch my sister used it for a while. My older sister used it, and I'd watch her use it and go, you know, if that thing slips out between your knees, it's knocking you in the teeth. You're gonna have to have dental surgery. It looked to me like it was the workout equivalent of lawn darts. It was just a matter of time before somebody got hurt.
I got it.
Lawn darts. I don't know who invented lawn darts, but how they ever got it packaged and marketed was genius.
No chance today.
No.
You know, they don't even like. I will say this: if we had air rifles, you know, the airsoft back in the day, 90% of my friends would be blind.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because it would go right in the eye.
There's no way in the world. Well, there's no way we would wear the proper safety.
No.
You know, now kids are trained in an early age to wear helmets, face shields, and stuff. But back in the day, I mean, we had a BB gun, and the only reason we couldn't make it more powerful because we weren't strong enough to pump it.
Right.
Anymore.
That Crossman 760, you could pump that thing 10 times. It had the power of a 22. You could put a pellet in that. It would blow. It would separate the head from a squirrel's body with that pellet. It was fantastic.
Yeah, but you couldn't. I wasn't. No one in my group was strong enough to pump it that many times.
No, I could.
You know.
I was a big kid.
If you got five, well, that's why I didn't hang out with you.
Then you had the Daisy BB gun that was just one click, the Daisy BB gun, and you'd shoot it out, and the BB would either go 30 feet or maybe a foot and a half. You never knew. You never knew where it was going.
Correct. That's right. Yeah, and you know, when you bought it, the BBs, there would be more BBs on the ground than in the gun.
Oh,
of
course.
You were okay with that.
And you'd put, first off, you would take the oily BBs, put them in your mouth, to then put them into the chamber of the gun.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
You had to.
Yeah.
You had to. Yeah, and I bet you if somebody metal detected my front yard at the corner of 39th Avenue and 3rd Street, they would think they would hit a gold mine.
And it'd be BBs. Just be copper BBs. And by the way, all of this was unsupervised.
Oh, yeah.
Your dad would give you the BB gun, tell you, don't shoot the windows or the lights so I don't have to deal with the cops. And then you would be free reign in the neighborhood. You'd be free reign in the neighborhood with your BB gun.
We would ride around on our bikes.
Shooting out
with
street lamps.
Well, no, we first of all, I never had a BB gun that could reach our street lamps.
Well, that's a good point.
We didn't shoot out anything, but we would ride around with them and hold them on our steering wheel. And if we even saw a squirrel or a cat or a dog, we're taking aim. You know, we would pretend we were on the wagon trail and try to shoot things on the move. No chance of hitting anything.
Nothing. It's like I had the same accuracy with my BB gun that I have with my golf club. If you're in the middle of the fairway, you're as safe as you can be on my golf game.
That's absolutely right.
That was with a BB gun.
It's true.
If I was aiming dead at your forehead, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot. That's probably what's happening.
That's right. Well, and again, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
But
those airsoft guns are amazing.
I laugh now, and I don't mean to. I understand why they do it because of what we learned as kids growing up, that now they're parents and grandparents, and they pass that knowledge on. So when I go by the skate park over there at by the Riley Art Center and all, and you see some kids, you get out, you watch, you see some very accomplished skaters, teenagers, young adults and everything, very accomplished. They do a lot of tricks. They rip it pretty well. But they all got on knee pads and elbow pads and helmets and everything. And I'm like, weak. It's just weak. We'd go to the skate place that was originally Slippery Dip water slides, but then they turned it into a skating thing in the late 80s. We'd go there. It was an all concrete like swimming pool deal that was water slides, and there was no elbow pads, there was no helmets, there was no knee pads, and there were no big huge boards like they do today. Pro-line skateboards were about 4 inches, 5 inches wide, and about you know, 16, 18, 20 inches long. They weren't very long. And
not
Proline at the time.
Well,
Proline at the time was top of the line, and they were these little bitty boards.
The first big board. I know a lot about skating, but the first big board was the Powell Peralta, and it was 5.5 inches, and that kind of changed the game. And then, you know, they got much better after that.
Yeah, but that didn't come out till when that came out when the
no,
mid 80s.
82.
Oh, was it 82?
Yeah, mid 80s.
Yeah, the mid 80s.
Oh, yeah.
See, we were skating on pro lines 77, 78, 79.
Oh, yeah. In 84, I had an 8-foot tall half pipe in my backyard.
Yeah. And big boards was how you had to go to be able to do half pipes and everything. But we didn't, in the late 70s, it was little fiberglass boards hard plastic boards that, you know, you just, if you could tic-tac, you were doing a great trick.
That's right. That's right. Sure.
You know, there was no flipping the board twice, grabbing it, you know, then landing on it or something.
No.
There was no scraping down there was no scraping your board down a metal pipe or something to do. No. You tic-tacked, or you were able to, with speed, go down one hill, back up the other hill, turn around, and come back. That's pretty much it. That was it. No, a lot's changed. A lot's changed. And we broke
you
our
are
falls.
much safer as a child now.
Oh yeah.
Than you ever were in our age.
Because you broke your fall. If you didn't know how to roll if you didn't know how to roll your body, you broke your fall with the palms of your hands, so they lost all kind of meat on them. Or you face planted and had you had a strawberry on your face. That's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, that's right. You learned.
Oh
learned how to fall, but then again, you didn't try these stupid tricks they try now.
No.
Now they got like foam pits that they land into. You know, the first dude to do that just nearly died if he didn't hit the trick.
Oh, of course. So, what it was like to live in the 70s, folks. It was a good time. Good time.
Riding motorcycles in shorts and no shirt, no helmet.
Jacksonville had all those old sand dunes and everything on the south side of town.
Oh, yeah,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's Fleming Island and all that area, but it wasn't at one time. It was fantastic.
You couldn't afford to run on a sand dune there now.
No. Hey, the biggest waste of time, in my estimation, in professional football is going on right now in Indianapolis. The NFL Combine is going on. Taquan Thornton, the Baylor wide receiver, broke the fastest 40 time yesterday. He ran a 4.21, which broke John Ross's record of 4.22. But then after 2.5 hours of deliberation, the NFL said, nah, he ran a 4.28. So they didn't give him the record. But 4.28 is still fast. But I'm still in the group that I understand why wide receivers run 40s. Why does anybody else in the league run 40s? Because unless a running back breaks a long play, a 40-yard dash doesn't confront him at all. And an offensive lineman, if an offensive lineman is running a 40-yard dash, it's because somebody intercepted the ball and they're trying to tackle him, or there was a fumble picked up for a run. Same with a defensive lineman. The 40-yard dash, to me, is the dumbest thing they do at the Combine.
Yeah, it may be up there, but it's a headline. And I think that's why they do it. But if you look at the, it's really all the shuttle drills they make them do and the cone work that they time. That, to be honest with you, that's what they care about. It's truly what they care about.
And then they do these interviews that are just ridiculous. You know,
you see how you handle pressure.
Yeah, but some of the
questions. If you're going to invest, and honestly, if you're going to invest the amount of money they invest in, like their number one overall pick, you want to ask them everything. You want to make them so uncomfortable to see how they react.
And they make them highly, highly uncomfortable with some of the questions.
I respect that. I don't mind that at all.
So this year with the 40, though, when they added all the times of everybody that ran yesterday, it came up to an average of 4.48, the fastest ever.
Unbelievable.
It's the fastest ever when you combine all the people at the Combine.
You can't teach it, right? You can't teach speed.
You know,
and I
bigger, faster, stronger.
Why.
Bigger, faster, stronger. They're getting bigger, they're getting faster, and they're getting stronger. But do you even turn an eye to the Combine? You even take it in for a second?
No, gosh, no. care less. Couldn't care less.
And, it's the only reason the combine works for some people, it's where small colleges, guys from small schools or something, that turn in a great shuttle run or something, can get noticed more so than they would if it hadn't been for the combine.
I think I think the combine is far overvalued in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
because there is always some guy there who just impresses, and then he gets on people's radar, and then his draft stock moves up because of it.
And then he's a bust.
We know this to be true.
And then he's a bust.
It makes himself a whole lot more money whether he's a bust or not.
Kind of
you
like
want to be drafted as high as you can.
Kind of like Suzanne Summers' money for the Thigh Master.
Not a bust. There's just one more of it.
$300 million she's made.
Not surprised at all. That doesn't shock me.
Got about 2 minutes left, and I have to talk about this. You said that, it'll go with the news cycle, but yesterday the Russians started bombarding with missiles an active nuclear power plant. Come on now, now you're getting crazy.
Well, I mean, but it's the Russians. By some estimates, they've lost 6,000 troops.
Well, their convoy's at a dead standstill. The tank convoy's not moving.
Right. But the Russians, they don't care if they lose people or bodies. And I read this yesterday that in this first week of war, if the estimates are true, and the Russians have lost 6,000 troops. In the 20 years we were in Afghanistan, we lost right around 3,500, right? Active duty military personnel.
Right.
Over 20 years. And people were living, we lost 13 in the last week. And, look what happens. And so we value life. We value our military sacrifice far more than the Russians do. So the Russians don't care. They're just going to keep throwing bodies at it until they take it over. And it'll be how the West decides they're going to react. And Biden again yesterday said, no, I have no plans on cutting off oil and gas from Russia.
No, because that would mean he'd have to let people start drilling for oil again here.
Well, and their response is, well, there's all these reserves that have already been cleared out. There's a reason they're not drilling them. And again, it's all political, and Biden isn't a leader. A real leader would say, look, for the good of Ukrainian people and for the future of this world, we're going to pay higher gas rates for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
If he said that and came out and said, look, I'm a leader. As a leader, I have to make these kinds of decisions, and I'll take the political hit, people would at least respect it.
You give him a look, but you couldn't hate him anymore. Exactly. Hey, Galen, we got to cut it off there because I need to know where the Bloodmobile is today.
Hey, today and this weekend, we're going to be all over the place. We're going to be at the RV show. We're going to be at the Strawberry Festival. Today, we're going to be at the Walmart out on the shore, so come see us there. But as always, we're right on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Give the gift of life and donate blood.
Galen, from Life South joins us every day. Brought to you by Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, and Just Shipped. Talk to you next week.
Bye, all.